Hello, how are you? This is a continuation of the prior video featuring a loaded pocket and cards. So here's the loaded pocket, and in the prior video I went through how to make this, and this is inspired from Robin's loaded pocket, and in the video description is a link to her YouTube video tutorial where she shows how to make this loaded pocket, and you could use it for so many reasons, and her videos are always just lots of fun too. Isn't that cute? Post-it, notepad. So today we're using Wildflower birthday designer paper, specialty paper, because it has the gold highlights, and this paper also includes die cut pieces. So here is the loaded pocket from the prior video. Post-it cover showed how to make that, and just a few cards tucked into here, and you could tuck whatever you want into your pocket. And if you're doing like maybe for an avid gardener, you could put seed packets in there, or a tea lover, you could put tea packets in there, or coffee, gift card, probably not a coffee cup, but with I put together a little kit, and I'll show you that here in just a minute, but it makes 10 cards plus the loaded pocket. And here's card number 1 that was done in the prior video, and number 2. So today I want to work on cards number maybe 3 through 10, because there's 10 different cards. They go together pretty quick, but if the video gets too long, I'll cut it off and make another one. But this is all using the designer paper. Therefore, you don't have to stamp and cut out this cute, cute cake. And it also uses note cards and envelopes, which are perfect for this project. Okay, so let me show you a few other things. And we'll work on this one, and here's all the other cards. Let me show you these. And I have them numbered. This is number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll use the majority of your package of Wildflower birthday designer paper, and it's only a half a package of paper that comes with this kit. And I have only 8 kits, so if you're local and if you want to participate, let me know as soon as you can. Okay, so we showed this, and so this is what the pack looks like. It includes a half a package of the designer paper, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Embellishments, the pen, Post-it, the note cards and envelopes, and back here are kits for each of the different cards for the different layers, and we'll go through that today. And here's the paper, and we'll use a lot, I'd say 90% of all of these 6 sheets. So look at this one. You probably recognize a few of these. This was on the note card. See right here? And this was down here at the bottom. So we'll be using quite a few of these. So there's that sheet. This sheet was used for the pocket. One whole sheet makes the pocket. Cute on the back. Here's all the die cut pieces, and we'll be using 100% of these. And they're a little bit fragile. If you move them too much, they want to pop out of, they're ready to be used. So then there is this foiled sheet. I don't want to move it too much because I don't want to pop them out. Right there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one, and the 6th one. 6 sheets. That comes in the pack. Plus embellishments. Okay, so let's get started on project number 3. Number 1 and 2 were already done. So go back through these. Aren't they cute? Okay, so that's number 3. So here it is. Let me show you where this comes from. This piece is from right here. That's a die cut piece. On the inside, this is hand cut from the designer paper, and so is this one. So I put some of the pieces in this little box. So we'll be using this one with the balloons on it, and a cake. Because all my pieces kept falling out, it's like, I'm just going to put them in a box. So here's the cake. Does that one have the balloon on it? Nope. So there's that and that. I think we're done here. Here is kit number 3, and in the video description I'll have what sizes I cut all these pieces. So number 3, and we can take a note card, and let's see, that's inside. And sometimes you have to trim, I'm pretty sure we have to trim this piece because it's the exact same size. So just to make it a little bit smaller, I'm going to trim it down on all 4 sides. But I don't want to get in the way of the balloon, so I did something a little fancy here, where I cut close. I'll show you here in just a minute. And then with my snips, I trimmed out the top of the balloon. Okay, so for now I'm going to cut sides 1, 2, and 3. And that's all I'm cutting off, is that much. Just a little bit, just so that the pecan pie, it has a border. Okay, then I'll show you about the balloon here in just a minute. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller and it will fit perfectly on the pecan pie piece. And I noticed that this side is smaller than that side, but once it gets all decorated, you won't notice. So for the balloon, because I want to preserve the balloon, I cut off just a little bit with my paper cutter. And then I'm going to use my snips to cut around this. It's nothing fancy, but sometimes these little details make all the difference. Okay, so see, I just took like just a little bit extra, and this little bit of the green balloon will rise up above the pecan pie border. Okay, but before I stick it on, I'm going to stamp the words, Happy Birthday. Oh, and let me show you the sets. I have quite a few sets and quite a few dies to make all 10 of these cards in the pocket. But they will be in, I have a link, and it says, here is a list of all the products used, and I'll have them all listed right there. So keep in mind, this is for all 10 cards plus the pocket, post-it, and notepad cover. The right words, unbounded love, layered thoughts, with you in mind, charming day. Oh, these are some new dies that are, you could get them on September 3rd. These are called traditional labels, very nice dies. I think this is Fright Night dies, and that's used for like just a little wavy label. We'll use that in just a bit. Stylish shapes, texture notes, and this is another one that will be available in early September, September 3rd, and it's called Branching Out. But look at all these layers of dies. It's so nice. Okay, back to where we were. Let's stamp the words Happy Birthday, and I'm going to stamp that in Blueberry Bushel. Here it is, right up at the top. Maybe a little bit close to the edge so that there's room for the cake, the candle. So that's all the stamping. So this can be attached. So the note cards come in a 20 pack, 20 cards, 20 envelopes. So if you had a whole package of the Wildflower specialty paper, you could do 2 of each of these 10 cards plus 2 pockets. The pockets are a really nice gift too. Okay, so that's going to go onto the note card front. And the note cards are 3.5 by 5. They're the perfect size where they're not too big, but they're not too little. Most importantly, they're not too little. Hold on. Okay, there's that. And then the cake, already as pretty as can be. No stamping, no coloring, no cutting. It's just ready to roll. I could use this. I'm all about using those edge pieces. One time I saw in the garbage can somebody threw all theirs away, and I debated amongst myself, would it be bad if I took it? It's like they work just as good. I'm going to take this little side for the candle. Okay, and you know, you would think, oh, I could put it all kinds of places. Oh, I want to see the balloons. But when it really comes down to it, how much balloons do you want to cover up versus do you want your words to be seen? So yes, a little bit of the balloons get covered up, but it's okay. And then I'm going to use some party dot embellishments, which come in your kit for all my local stampers. I did pool party, and you know what? I'm running low on pool party. So I might do this in, I'm looking at, there's a whole lot of pretty and pink going on, so I might do it in the accent color, which is peach pie. So 1, 2, aren't those cute? It's so nice that these embellishments perfectly match the designer paper. What are they called? Probably Wildflower Birthday. Party dots. They're just party dots. Okay, so that front is already done. Isn't that fun? So for the inside, may all your wishes come true. And Blueberry Bushel. Now do that in the middle at the top. Okay, that turned out good. Because stamping is all done, I can attach this. And there it is. Now that I'm looking at it, it might be a little crooked. Don't tell anyone. Okay, and then for these are cut out from the designer paper. There's one sheet that has all kinds of cake on it, and there's another sheet that has flowers on it. So I have them ready to go. And if I flip this over, you could see that the flowers came from the soft seafoam sheet, and the cake came from the striped sheet. So take this off, because I'm going to use this right on here. And I'll attach these. So the cake, I'll put a dimensional at the top. And little glue at the bottom. It could go right here. Make sure it's straight. And then the flower is the same thing. In the center, a dimensional. And then the edges get glue. Lately I've liked putting dimensionals on the inside. Can't tell you why, but I like it. Okay, so I know that glue is going to take a minute to dry. So in the meantime, I'll put this inside the note card. Hold on. So I think this project, number 3, it's not that it's hard, but cutting out those balloons is a little bit of, oh no, what do you have me doing a little bit different? But the rest of them are so easy. Easy to put together, find the pieces. Okay, and now I'll try to stick down these leaves. If they stick down, that's great. If they don't, that's okay too. Okay, we did card number 3, just like that. So it's one. Here's another one. Card number 4. Card number 4, I think it might be my favorite. Right here. Look how pretty that is. Maybe because it's all fancy. It's all gold. So this piece here is right here. Already ready to go for you. How convenient is that? Okay, kit number 4 and a note card. Okay, so I'm going to find this piece. I think it's right here. That's it. It's going to go right onto the note card. Let me see how it fits. Fits kind of perfect. So say it was too big, I would still put it on here just like this, and then open it up and trim off any that's too big. But this one looks like it fits just perfect. And if it isn't, that's fine. It does look like it's a little big. I have to trim it. And I might have put it on a little crooked too. Okay, so just let that dry. Take out the pieces for number 4. And these go on the inside. Well, I had to trim it first. Let's trim it. Making sure it's stuck pretty good before I start to trimming. And a little bit from here. And a little bit from the bottom. That's such a small amount. Nothing here. Oop, a little bit at the top. And say that when you cut this panel out from your designer paper, say you cut it too small, it's okay to let a little white border remain around, a white border from the note card. And you can just pretend like you planned it. Just get it centered, the best that you can. So when you look at these little pieces, it's like, yeah, that was pretty close. But I don't want the bright orange, the peach pie little print showing. But you could see that isn't much. That went away. Okay, so this is going to go right in the middle. These dies are so pretty. Can you see how pretty that is? Look at the edges of it. This one, the oval one, taking it out, because see that how it's like almost separate, which creates a beautiful detail on there. This one came out easy, but there was a rectangle one that I used on one of the earlier cards, and this one, it was a little bit challenging to come out from the die, but once you get it out, it's really pretty. So I go along some of the edges so that they stick down. Put that right in the middle. Okay. Pretty already. And You're So Kind is stamped in blueberry bushel. Now put this pecan pie piece back behind what we're going to stamp on, because now we could see the perimeter of the die cut piece. Much easier. I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. I hope. Yay! Okay, do I need stamping on the inside? Oh, look how nice this is. You're so kind. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. Isn't that nice? Okay, so that's going to be on the white piece. There it is, right at the top in the middle. Okay. Okay, because stamping is done, this can be attached. Ooh, let's finish the front. So this label gets put on with dimensionals. I'm running low on regular dimensionals. Okay, goes right in the middle. Okay, and then a double bow and some bling. I have a double bow ready to go. And if you want to make a double bow, I have a video, one of my very first videos. And I knew that, because at first I was so nervous. I knew that people are always fascinated with double bows. So I felt confident in, I'll do a double bow video, because I know everyone will appreciate and like that. Because people ask me over and over, and I say it just takes practice. So you could scroll back to one of my very first videos, or I could send you the link. Put a little bit of glue just to lock it in place. And after we finish the inside, I'll trim off the ends. So for the inside, I need to find these flowers. By the last card, because we use all of these, by the last card is going to be easy to find what's needed. So we need 2 leaves and 2 more flowers. Look at that cake. And the balloons. That's a bouquet. Well, I know they're here somewhere. Here's one. Here's a leaf. Now this one has a stem on it, so that's not it. Here's one. Okay, it's got to be hiding in here. So I need a peach pie and a bigger leaf with a stem on it. Peach pie I didn't lose anything. Oh, it's right here. That doesn't have a stem on it. Here it is. See, persist, and it pays off. Starting to doubt myself there. Okay, so all these pieces are going to go on, but I can attach the inside. And I would put this inside the card, but I think it's probably easier to work on it when it's right here in front of me. Okay. So maybe I'll do this one backwards because I could do that. I'm just looking at how they have their flowers laid out. That's because there's 3 of them. I don't have any extras because I used everything because I love everything. How about with the big one? Kind of tilted. But that leaves a gap down there. Okay, we'll just do it mirror. Maybe the leaves. The leaves can be different. That's a big leaf. That one could go underneath. This one could kind of frame it. There, that's cute. And then the big one right here. Okay, got a plan. But we're running low. Okay, lots of dimensionals. A dimensional for every petal. And just based on the shadows, I think there's one side that looks more up and down than the other. Like to me, that looks like it's sitting right. Okay, so the flower at the bottom will get glue. This big one will get dimensionals. Maybe. Not much left. This one over here. This one gets blue. Then before it gets too stuck, I'm gonna put that little leaf underneath. I like the stem showing just because it's so cute. That little green leaf stem. So just like that, with the stem showing. Okay, and this one, same thing. Okay. Look how cute that is. So that goes inside, and I didn't put any bling on the top. Maybe because of the gold. The gold makes it sparkly enough, but I did put bling on the inside. Peach pie. With this project, if you have a whole package of bling, you could do anything you like. I got my inside a little wide. This is hanging over, that's hanging over. Because they're on dimensionals, I might be able to lift them up. Nope, it's tearing it. Okay, let's see how it's gonna fit. Oh, something's gotta give. Okay, so if ever you stick something down with dimensionals, just take your snips. And don't worry, it's all gonna be hidden. It's all gonna be okay. Because see, I thought I was being fancy letting it hang over the edge. It backfired. And then, because it's going to go on probably in 95% the same spot that it was, these dimensionals will line right up. And I'm going to put it on within the borders, within the boundaries. Okay, let's see how that's going to fit. Okay, and this one is barely. I could pick up that one. Let me see if it'll lift up, because I think I did just one. No, I did a few. That's bow knocking. Okay, but it came up fine. So I'm going to put a few bling on here. See what that dog is going to do. If he keeps knocking, I'll let him in. Oh, he's whining. Hold on. Okay, so 3 peach pie embellishments. But one, I kind of like it because it looks like that's a baby flower or something. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so this one, good. I'll just have to trim these up. So what is that, card number 4? We are just moving through them. I think the first one, that balloon thing, is getting a little tricky, out of the ordinary. Okay, let's label this one. Do I have 2? No. Okay, so we have 2 project number 4s. Isn't that cute? This is a favorite one. Okay, and they each get a little envelope. That's a card envelope. Okay, we're done with that one. Project number 5. So here's that. And project number 5, pieces ready to roll. Let's find this cake. Oh, it has to be the full panel. And did I show you the full? The full panel comes from right here. And we'll be using a lot of these. This one, I wanted to use the whole thing, but ended up cutting out the cake, but that turned out good too. Okay, panel. Ah, right on top. So this one, I think we have to trim this paper so that there's the blueberry border. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, a cutout piece, which I have ready to roll. And what's fun is that the sheet, the one with the stripes, see this little cutout cake? Look how nicely it acts as a miniature to that big one. And there's the peach cake, and that one has a little miniature to it. It's not exactly the same, but it has the same colors, the same cake color, accent colors. Okay, oh, and the balloon. Let's get the balloon. There it is. Okay. So let's see how this fits on the blueberry panel. Might fit perfectly. No. So the blueberry panel is just 1/8 shy of the note card front. This panel is the same size. So when you look at this, that looks good. But if you have that little blueberry layer and trim a little bit of the panel off, I think it looks a little better. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. Let me see how much I have to trim. If I have that much showing, I have to trim off a little more than 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 inch. Okay, let's see how I did. And if it isn't trimmed perfectly, you might have a bigger border. Or on the side, you might have a little bit bigger border than on the top and the bottom, but it's very forgiving. Okay, that looks good. And this just gets attached. Okay, and then this gets attached to the note card front. Okay, then let's decorate it with just a regular little bow. I tried to put a double bow on there, but I was like, that's, I had it right here. I was like, that's a little big. Yeah, but I kind of like big. I'll save that for something else. I'm sure I'll use it. So for now, just a little bow. I love this ribbon. What's this one called? Gold striped ribbon. Okay, so it's looking a little funky. So I'm going to try to pretty it up a bit. When we go out for date night, Jay's like, okay, you ready to go? I'm like, no, I thought we were leaving in like 10 minutes. I have to go and find some pretty in the bathroom. He's like, okay, we'll go find some pretty. Let's get ready to go. Okay. I haven't found it yet. I need new snips. I know what it is. I need to use the snips Jude gave me. Okay, so that's going to be put on. Because the bow is a little bit fluffy, I think a glue dot is fine. So I'm folding it in half to make it smaller. Putting it on the underside of the knot. Sticking it in place. And then I'll follow it up with liquid glue. Let it soak into the fibers of the ribbon. Dry. Okay, so this one, yes, I went a little crazy with the bling. At first I had nothing on there, and I'm like, oh, I could put bling everywhere. So I have bling on all of these. So can you tell the difference? Yeah. Nope, the boys are home. And Bo's wanting to go out. He'll start howling if I don't let him out. You need to go. Yeah. Dad, Dad, Dad. Dad. Oh, thank you. Look what my son just brought me. Do you know what this is? Oh, way too much sugar. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, back to bling. And I'm going to use the, what size? The small ones. That's a whole lot of small. I should see if I need more small elsewhere. So I need 3 on there, 3, 4. I might be using big ones on this cake. That's peach pie, nothing. Okay, so what did I count? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I have 1, 2, 3. I have 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is a lucky day. It's because of that drink. It's because of all the sugar in it. You know what's really scary is I just have been getting headache day after day and just feeling like really tired. And I'm like, what is going on? And then all these headaches. I mean, I even said to Tony, I feel like I've wasted a week because when I feel like that, I take something and then I just go to sleep. I've been sleeping, I'm not going to tell you how much because I'm embarrassed. A lot. But anytime that Tony went out with little one and did errands and came home and brought me that beverage, all of a sudden I'd be feeling better. That would be terrible if I was that addicted to it. Even this morning, because I put a little bit of the leftover in my morning coffee, and all of a sudden, feeling just fine. I said, they need to come up with like to-go ice cubes of 911. So if they took an ice cube tray and poured that drink all in it, and then I'd put one ice cube in my, because the coffee is too hot in the morning, I'd be just fine. But I'm not willing to admit that I'm addicted. There's no way I coffee fine, but not having to have that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if the balloon goes right here, with the string being somewhat straight, and you know how balloons, they go everywhere, so that means that the word should be right about here. Okay, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Here it is. Charming Day. Charming Day bundle. I think I have used it. I've used it a lot. I would say way too much, but I still want to use it more. Look at that. That's from Charming Day. So is on the pocket cover, the hey. What did it say? It said, oh, hey, I'm part of it, and then thanks for being you. Those are all from Charming Day too. Okay, so this is good. That is a little bit, let me try one more time. And then the winner gets to take the permanent stage. Bo is out there barking. It's so funny. When men come around, for instance, Evan is here right now. And of course, Tony just came home. When there's men around, sometimes it's just Tony, like this morning. Bo thinks he saw something up a tree, and many times there's nothing up that tree. And he is out there barking and barking. I'm glad we don't have close by neighbors, because I would be embarrassed. And right now he's just out there barking his dog full head off. But that's what dogs are, that's what Tennessee Walker Coonhounds are supposed to do. So he's being a dog. Okay, so this is looking good. You notice how there's very little stamping, no coloring, just a greeting here or there. Ruby, this is for you. Ruby doesn't mind some things. Some things she just is like, ugh. I know she doesn't like cutting. Well, she doesn't like coloring too much either. She does like cute, nice stuff though. Okay, we're out of dimensionals. Black dimensionals. Have you used black dimensionals before? Regular dimensionals. Okay, back in business. Garbage. So the balloon goes on with dimensional and glue. I'm going to try to have the string straight. I want a little bit of the balloon over the blueberry bushel border. So I could say, yeah, I cut that out. You like how perfect that is? Yeah. Okay, and number 5. That will go right onto here. And this gets a dimensional and glue. These I need to fix it a little. Packing tape. Packing, do you like my magic dimensionals? DSP, Donna S. Parker, said, hey, how do you do that? So I have a video on it. But the answer really is packing tape to hold all those little bitty bits. But I could send you the video if you want it. Wouldn't you love to have the initials DSP? Or something stamp related that's really fun. Bling. That would be 5 names. Okay, there's the inside. We were almost done with card number 5. You think I should just try to power through all of them? You could fast forward. Like say you get a few of them done, come back and do the other ones. See, you all should get the paper and have all of your little papers cut. Have all of your pieces punched out, and we could do it together. Okay, that is card number 5 with the studded birthday cake, studded with pink bling. Yeah. Number 5 done. I would say we've done half of it already, but the other video we did number 1 and 2. Okay, done. Okay, card number 6. What do you think about that one? That one's loaded. A lot of stuff on it, but it's all just cut out or die cut. Okay, so the designer paper, we haven't gone through this yet. For card number 1 and 2, it was using this soft seafoam designer paper. And the paper cut sizes for the designer paper in the video description, but also I made a little template for this paper right here. And I'll take pictures of this. Card number 1, card number 2, and here's the sizes you cut it to. And all the rest is for use for future. And this paper is so pretty, I'm sure you could find a reason to use it. So this is for this paper. So let's look for the paper with the little scalloped banner on it. And here's my little cutting template. So all of this down here will be used for future, but today we want for card number 6, 7, and 8. And these are the sizes. And like I said, it'll be in the video description. I'll also take a picture of this template. So these are the pieces. Let me see what these flowers go to. I think it goes to this project, number 6. And sometimes when you're cutting the paper, it's nice to just lay the pieces on top and leave them there until you're ready to use them. So we'll use these will be the next 2 cards, but for now we'll use this one piece. Lovely, thank you for the Dutch. Okay, so card, base, and I need the kit for 6. And inside, outside. And we need this cupcake panel, which is right here. And this might need to be cut down. Let's put it on here. Yeah, it'll need to be just a little bit smaller. And let's get that banner. Here's the banner, and we're going to use part of it on the front, most of it on the front, and part on the inside. Because look how big it is. There's that. Okay, that's it. So this piece of blueberry just gets attached. You know what? I should do it right. Diagonal corners. Okay. And then See, isn't that cute too? So, this bit of designer paper gets attached to the olive. And then that gets attached to the blueberry. I'm going to leave just a little border here at the edge. So a little border at the edge, the top and the bottom are a little bit bigger. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this down to any size that you want, but I'm thinking, what is that, like 1/8 inch comes off, and ooh, the height stays the same. So I'm going to trim off just those little bits. Okay, and this just gets stuck down flat. And I'm looking at the scallop, how much of the scallop is showing. Like right down here, see how it's like right on top of there? A little crooked. Okay. And then about this much equals that much. And then for the banner, and the way that I decided where to cut it was when you look at the tassels on the banner, you could tell when they're straight. Like if you hang it like this, they're hanging down, gravity's pulling them down straight. So I'll start with these 3, those 4, these 2, then I'll cut it right in the middle. And I'll use the rest of it for the inside of the card. So these, they have dimensionals on the back of it, and that seems fine for the front of the card. So I'll start out with mini dimensionals and put it all over these little tassels. Way down at the bottom. Not so they're seen, but as far down at the bottom as you can. If you put it up closer or midpoint on the tassel, I'm going to put glue on the stringer, and that would kind of conflict with the glue and you'd have to hold it down. So glue right up here. And keep in mind this little green linen thread will cover up the end of the tassel. So I know for sure I want it to be right up here. And then just pivot this to wherever it lines up with the edge of your note card. Okay, there's that. Some little green bows, and I'll need 4 of them. Tiny little bows. There's one. And then the tassels on the banner will each get a little bling, inside and outside. So I think these cards are really cute. Perfect size. They do fit in the loaded pocket, or you could give just a few of them away, but I don't know how you're going to decide which ones to give away. Everyone could use birthday. Okay, one more. Okay, there they are. And these, because they're so small, I think that I'll just do liquid glue, because I think a glue dot might show through. I might give it a try if I roll it up. Okay, so to put those on, I don't know, I think the glue dot might show. Let's see how they stick on there. If I put the glue on, it starts to get a little tacky. It might help with holding it. Okay, just let that dry and then come back and put the bling, the party dots on the banner. So that can sit there. So for the inside, happy birthday, but determine where you want this to hang. So remember how I was saying it depends on, think about the tassel, which way the tassels are hanging. Because it goes there, tassels are pretty much up and down, which is what gravity does. If you put it like this, it's cute, but it looks like those tassels are really blowing in the wind. I think it's better over here. So with that said, I'm going to do my happy birthday down a little bit low, because it can't be in the way of my tassel. So like right here. And do that in Lost Lagoon. Happy birthday. I know it's here somewhere. Here it is. Happy birthday. Right about here. You know, Lost Lagoon. Yeah, that didn't turn out very good. Lost Lagoon isn't in the colors suggested, but I think it works well with Pool Party. That's better. Okay. So that's all the stamping on this inside piece. So we can attach that. Do it right. Okay. And then mini dimensionals on the back of the tassels. Down low. And then glue at the top. And keep in mind that we're going to put that little bow over the top, so that will cover up the connection point. So go here, right about there. Okay, put the glue on, let it start drying. And these will all need trimming up in just a bit, and bling. Okay, so for the bottom, it's these little pieces, and these are cut from the soft sea foam. Okay, so this one gets dimensional. Go right there. Then these little pieces, they just get flat glued. Kind of looks like a lobster claw. Should go over here. Yeah. Okay. So this could go to the inside. You know, I see the glue being really wet right there. Let's just let it dry. Oh, I did a smudge. Okay, how about bling on the tassels? I have a lot of peach pie left. And I'm using the smaller. It's either small or large. I'm using the small for these. It's a whole lot of bling. Oh, I have only one pool party left. Okay, do one small in the middle. And then big ones elsewhere. Well, that looks okay. Maybe I'll put a few pink big ones in just to, well, the big one won't go good underneath the old olive bow. Oh, I could put a big one right there. Like, yeah, I planned that. I plan to have different size knots. Well, didn't plan that. I was worried about the pink when we were putting them all over the cake. I think it still looks fine. Okay, so these get trimmed. And this is done. That little whoops bugs me. Pull my sand eraser. Huh? That worked. Okay. Good. So what is this? Card number 7? 6? There. This is number 6. Okay, it's official. Number 6. And I'm gonna let that stay open so that the glue dries. Okay, number 7. The bouquet. Here's the bouquet. And you know, this project, I don't know that it's going to fit in an envelope. Oop, there's other pieces. The flower, more gold. Here's the gold. And this flower right here. Okay. And we're on number 7, this one. So these are inside pieces. And this is just stuck down. Okay, and then the bouquet is attached with dimensionals, and then at the bottom glue. This one might need a regular envelope, just because it's so big. But there's not really any place you could trim it. I'm looking at the gold ribbon wraparound. Maybe it could be shortened there, but still the outside is going to run into the edges of the envelope. Just might need a big one. Okay. Now, even if I did make the stem shorter, it still would need a big envelope because of these other pieces sticking out. So sometimes it's just a little fancy. Okay, so it hangs off equally all the way around. Okay, and so to do this little friend, which is right here, do it on a scratch paper. I don't even know if I have scratch paper. It's just a tiny little friend. Okay, then I'll cut it close right here. Leave a little bit for the flagged end. And close right here. And kind of close up here. Okay, and so that will get a partial dimensional. I'm looking at which side is smaller that I could take from right here. And a little bit of glue. So right there is where, oh, I had to flag that end. So right in the middle. And then up from either side. There's half of it. Okay. So that will get stuck right where the bow is going to go. Just kind of hanging down, like right there. Then, a double bow with gold. Okay, make them a little, the bow part's a little different. And this, I am going to use a glue dot rolled up just because the fiber has a mind of its own. And I don't think that it would happily sit in a puddle of glue and dry. So there's a glue dot rolled up like a burrito. Tiny little thing. I'm hoping it will hide underneath the knot. And even if it doesn't, like if there's a little bit showing through here or there, I'll put the liquid glue on it and that will stop it from sticking to the inside of the envelope. So it's a little bit of a mess, but once it dries clear, it'll be fine. So for the inside, just 2 items. And what's it say on the outside? Friend, you're a true blessing. So see, this one doesn't have to be birthday or anything. Here it is. A little crooked. Nope. Little crooked will go with it. Okay, so here's the flowers. So maybe a couple mini dimensionals at the top and then glue at the bottom. This one I'm doing a little different than the sample. See how it turns out. Then we have to put pink, pretty and pink party dots on it. Yeah, I did that one really crooked. Try to fix it. Okay, I think that's going to work. So this is the crooked one. There, it's just extra fancy. Because I have dimensionals down there, I'll put this on with dimensionals. There, now it's straight. Okay, this goes inside. And then pretty and pink dots. Okay, so that one is done. That's a number 7. They both get an envelope. Okay, what's number 8? Another bouquet. That doesn't really fit in the envelope. Okay, number 8. Here's number 8. And card base. Designer paper. DSP. And the bouquet, getting kind of slim in this box. What's on the inside? Ooh, wee. This one. This one. These two. See, we're going to use them all. Okay. So inside, inside, outside. So there's no stamping on the designer paper, so that gets attached. Okay. And this gets attached to the note card front. Okay, and then this gets attached with dimensionals, and I don't think it will fit in the note card envelope. But if you could position it on the front of the card so not so much sticks out. Let me try something on this one. Because you know the last one, it wasn't going to fit. So, see this blue leaf at the top? You trim it off close. I'm just wondering if this, I think this will make the difference. And then, where you trimmed it, put some glue. We're just going to make the leaf a little shorter. Tuck it in a little bit further. I know it's not quite as dramatic as how they originally had it, but if it makes it so it will fit. Not really. No need to do that. It doesn't, it's not going to make enough of a difference. I don't want dimensionals hanging over. Okay. Okay. And on here, we'll stamp "Have a blessed day." Do that in black. Here it is. But I have to get the ink off of this one. So I have this on here, the "Have a blessed day," because it's polymer. It has a little bit of a wave, which will perfectly work with this this die cut piece. Okay. Oh, bad. I think if I flipped it over, no, that doesn't look so good. Well, how am I going to fix that? I could use a marker or pull out an already cut one. extra pieces in here. Nope. Which one are we on? 8? Have to make another one. Okay, let's try again. Because it's polymer, I should have my foam pad underneath there. That's better. And then on the inside, thinking of you. We'll do that in a minute. So this goes on simply with dimensionals, nothing fancy about it. Look how perfect that is right there. I want to see the flower center. So right about there. Okay, and some 5 bling. Okay, so that's done. So inside is thinking of you and flowers. So the thinking of you is in blueberry bushel. I love how big and bold that is. Thinking right at the middle top. Okay. And then of you are 2 separate stamps. Of you. This is like a builder stamp set. It's got bold words and then you can add on to make it work. Okay, so that's done. So we just decorate with those little flowers. More pool party bling. I might have to change it to something else because I just have 4 big ones. Okay. And then the flowers, everything is flat except the leaf. Cute. Okay. And bling. How about the pink? Just because I have a gap down there. Okay, so that is, let's label it, that's number 8. Okay, give it an envelope. Envelope. 8. Okay, this one is number 9. We need balloons and the cake. So the cake is this one right here, and it's just cut out, which is a shame because I like that background, the soft seafoam background. But if you don't use it, it's no good. So it's cut out, it looks just fine. Perfect little cake. Okay, there it is. So that cake is from right here, and this is designer paper, and this little band here at the bottom is from right here. I'll probably have to trim this. Looking at it, I could see some of the other pattern on there. Okay, number 9. We're almost done. Number 9. Card base. This is inside. This just gets attached. And you could do either side. I think the striped side is really cute too. That. And then the balloons go on with dimensionals and then glue. So this would be fun to do with Christmas and have 20 Christmas cards ready. Maybe not the pouch. So this one is, you know, this one I should see if I can make it shorter so it will fit in the envelope. Okay, I have glue all over that. I'm going to cut it right in the middle of the knot. And this, just make it shorter because I'm going to put that big old bow over it, thinking it will kind of cover it up. Okay, what do you think? Can I get away with it? Because that much is the border on the note card, and so is that, I hope. The bottom is hanging over just a little extra. Okay, and then a bow, big double bow to cover that seam. Okay, and I'll try rolled up glue dot and glue. Right here on the seam. I felt some of the glue dot coming through, so I'm just kind of sealing that off. Okay. Okay, the outside just needs bling. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the inside papers. So happy birthday in Blueberry Bushel. To celebrate to someone we're celebrating every single day. That's nice. Here's the happy birthday. Right at the top middle. Okay. And this one I want to make sure I get it straight, because on the sample it's crooked. So I'm laying that down there as reference. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to trim off, because when I look here I see a little bit of another print, so I'm going to trim off the bottom. And I'll just attach this to the white. Way at the bottom. And now I have to trim it. It's too wide. Okay. This can be attached. And then the little cutout cake. Right here, like it's sitting on the table. Okay. Inside. Okay, so that is number 9. And finally, number 10. This one is a nice one. Number 10. 10. So this one takes 2 pieces of the cake paper. Oh, little cutout cake. So the striped one goes on top, just flat, plain, no border. Well, I guess the note card provides a little white border. And then Blueberry Bushel. This is from that branching out bundle. The die goes right in the middle. It goes on the inside. The little cake. And a little flower. Need that little flower and this big pink cake. So this one I was thinking could be like a wedding or a bridal shower, because there's no candles on it. Look, we're out. Okay, so I'm going to do the ziggle zaggle of ribbon. So to do that, I'm going to put dimensionals all over the back, heavier than planned, because they have to hold the ribbon. And even if I did the dimensionals right in all the right spots to hold the ribbon, then I would need more to hold the cake in place. And a little bit for the platform. And then the rest will be glued. Right here. Okay, so let's see how ziggle zaggle works. Here's the gold ribbon. This I think it's on clearance right now. Comes in a pack of gold and silver. Hey, they can't do that. Let's see how it works. It might be hiding, so it might be just fine. It will be just fine. So this I'll put right there. Well, right now I'm just looking at the top part. I like that right there. Then this is going to be looped around, maybe to hide that, this bit. Okay, that's good. I'm pretending like there isn't a cut in it. I've never had that happen. Could be a little bigger. Okay, that looks good. Then, next twisty about. Yeah, that's going to work fine. And see how I'm not even paying attention to what the back looks like? And then it will end up right there. Okay, so when I trim these, trim this one. Okay, and I'm looking at how much, like that dimensional is occupied by ribbon, so it needs a little more. So now you know why I put so many on the back, because that one is busy, this one is busy with ribbon. There, that'll hold it. Ooh, double. That'll hold it. That one could be right there. Yeah, lots of them. And then I'm going to put glue on the ends of the pedestal, the platform, the cake. Okay, let's see how it looks. Just fine. Okay, the front is done. You think it needs bling? No. Okay, so for the inside, here's inside papers. So let's do the Stampin' in case it needs to be flipped over. Celebrate. The only stamp not used today. Celebrate in blueberry. Right at the top. Has a fuzzy on it. I'll just have to put the flower right there. Okay, that's it. And the flower is going to go really close to the words because there's a fuzzy on it. Right there. And that just gets glued. Okay, good recovery. And a few dimensionals, and then glue on the pedestal. Look how pretty that is, and it all matches. See how this cake has the blue pedestal and the pink cake with gold? This one's just like it. Okay, right in the middle. Okay. Then this one goes on the inside, right in the middle. I should have trimmed this one more. There's a little border down here, but that's right up at the top. I think it's fine. Okay, so that is card number 10. We did it, we did it. Okay, so what do you think? I love this project. So here's an envelope. We're using up the last one. Okay, so there will be pictures of all of the projects on my blog and the paper cut sizes. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thanks. Bye.